Hey guys, Mr. Xbox Infinity here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a final preview of Total Miner Update 1.8. They have released a ton of information since my last update video, and that's why I'm bringing you guys a new one. They've unofficially announced that the update will come out around a couple days before Christmas. So as of right now, we have about 20 days, and I just wanted to give you guys a final preview, get you up to speed on what I've missed since my last update video. I think that's about it. Let's get started. First off, I wanted to show you guys the brand new biomes that they're adding. So it's a little different than, say, Minecraft, because as of right now, there is a grass biome and a desert biome, and then the regular, mountains and archipelago and everything. But the grass biome and the desert biome are only in creative mode, and the reason they did this is because builders need flat open spaces a lot of the time to build their stuff so that hills don't get in the way. And so what they did was just make a pretty flat land with a couple hills here and there. But as you can see in the pictures, it's not too different or anything. But moving on, this next picture is actually a picture of what the worlds are going to look like if you chose like continental. And I am not sure yet if they're going to add that to Dig Deep. My guess is probably not. I'd say Dig Deep is gonna stay, kind of the same as what it is right now as for terrain goes, but they are improving the terrain a lot. And so as you can see in this next picture, this is just another seed. It's another continental map, but it has a lot of water in this one, and it looks like from here that the water actually goes pretty deep compared to before. And that's pretty good terrain generation compared to what it was. So next off, we have a picture of all the caves in the map. If you glitch into the side of the wall, which is actually what he did in this picture, you can see all the caves, and this is just showing how they're going to be different. In 1.7, it was, I'd say, fewer caves, and they were probably bigger, I'd guess. So it's going to be a little more confusing now because they have so many, and just from looking at it, you can tell that it's going to be kind of hard to do, harder than 1.7. So next we have some textures to show you. So first off, we have the water texture, and around it you can see some sand and some logs and everything. And if you watched my last update video, I said that they were going to add HD texture packs. So this is just one of them. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the main one. But going into this next picture, you can see like all the different textures that you can put on half blocks and ramps and signs and stairs. So this is a kind of cool feature because when you place down a sign or a ramp or a half block or stairs, it will ask you what the texture you want it to be is, and you can choose from all these. So from what you can see, there's camo, there's the wood bricks or whatever that is next. There's some bricks, just normal. There's some concrete bricks, and it goes on and on. Looks like there's a bunch that you can choose from, so I think that's going to be a really cool feature. Next we have just some, normal textures of what it would look like inside a house if you kind of decorated it a little bit with, the stairs as seats, as you can see. And that looks pretty cool. The tables, I'm not exactly sure how they even did that. I guess we're gonna have to wait because on the bottom there's fence, but I don't know what's on the top, because it's not big enough to be a half block. I'm not really sure. Next we have a pretty cool picture of the spikes that they're adding, and since it's HD for the texture packs, you can actually add like a lot more detail in it. So they're not the square spikes that they had before. They're actually pointed, and they have a kind of cool techno background or metal, whatever, kind of cool. Next is just a little bit of the stone texture with some seats, and you can see the lighting from the sun blocks, kind of cool inside. Um, Next, we have. Okay, I wanted to talk about this picture a little bit because it has some cool things. So, off to the very left hand side, you can see that there's a Total Invaders, like, new and improved, I don't know, picture. It has different text and, different pictures and stuff. So, that's kind of cool. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was the black squares that you can see right in front of you. Um, the black squares are what's called one-way windows. So I'm guessing that you can only see one way. So if you look at it right now, it's black. So I'm guessing from the other side you would look through and you would be able to see through. So that's something I can't wait to like play around with in the update and just see what we can do with it. Next, you just have a picture of different like texture packs for the same building. So, it's the same building, just differently textured and stuff like that. Next off, we have a picture of a city with some mossy cobblestone built into it. It looks pretty cool. I think it has a different texture on too. Next we just have like a before and after picture of, inside, like looking out a window. So this is the before picture, and as you can see right now, it changes, and it's the after picture. It has different windows, just different textures, make it look a little cooler. Next, we have a really cool thing. So they're adding different texture packs, as you may know, and one of them is going to be winter, and I think this looks really cool, like especially with the sky in the background and stuff, but the trees are actually going to be white, and so is the ground, like it would be snowing. And next there's just a picture of the city a little bit more in that winter texture pack. And the next picture is a side-by-side comparison of the winter to the summer, I guess. I'm guessing it's just the normal texture pack. They're just calling it summer. But that's something cool to see the difference between the two texture packs. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the lighting. The lighting had some pretty cool pictures on the forums, and the first one we have like the very first thing, scene of a sunset, and this is in Baldy Gargoyle's map. If you've ever been in his map, this is a view from it, and this is another picture. It's kind of cool because it's purplish and I don't know, just different. So that's gonna be cool too. They're adding some kind of cool colors in the sunsets. If you looked at the winter one, the sky was pretty cool in that too. Next, it's the moon just beginning to rise right here in some city. And finally, we have a picture of like midnight, or the middle of the night, and there are lights on the ground, and you can see it all lit up from the sky, which is a cool feature. And then we have something that they were talking about called moon glow, and moon glow is the lighting that's going to be kind of blue for the moon when it's out, so you can actually tell the difference between the light from the moon and light from torches. So at least at the surface, it's not going to be pitch black at night. You're going to be able to see something from when the moon is out. Next up, we have something else that I really wanted to talk about. This is called a rare, and it's basically an item that you can get by killing a spider or maybe finding in a treasure chest, but they're supposed to be really rare, and you don't get them that often. But you can see all the stats right here of what it would be if it wasn't blacked out, or they didn't have red over it. There's durability, heal power, defense, damage, reach, speed, and delay. So that's all that, I can't wait to see what they actually add and try out some of the rare weapons that they're going to put in. But as we're coming to a close here, I know it's kind of long, but I just wanted to show you some of the creations that they've like moved over to the PC version so that they can see what they look like in the new update. So this is a new map by Baldy Gargoyle. It's called like the Square City or something like that, and it's pretty cool. It has a clock tower in the middle and then a bunch of houses, and in the next picture you can see it has a market. The moon is coming up and it looks cool with the lanterns below and stuff. And here's a final kind of overview of that city, and it looks awesome. Here's a cool build. I think this came out in 1.8 or 1.7 that somebody built and they moved it over. It's a battleship and an aircraft carrier. And then finally, we have kind of a glass dome city, which that's kind of cool how they did that. They put a sphere and then they built a city inside of it. So just a cool concept kind of. And yeah, I think that is about it. I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on the 1.8 update progress so far. So if you didn't hear me before, the update is planning to come out on a couple days before Christmas, maybe the 20th or something like that. But what was I gonna say? I forget. But if you guys have any more info that you want to, bring to everyone else that I forgot to mention in this video, feel free to put it in the comments so that everybody can see what else they're adding. Mostly I just went over the pictures here, so there are other features that I could mention, but there was a lot to go over anyway, so I didn't really have time to put it in. Other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are excited for this update to come out. I know I am. And be watching for more content as we get closer to the 1.8 release. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you guys later.